my bunnies, it's Ticky Trinkets here, and today I have for y'all, finally, a new polymer clay tutorial. We're starting off the year wonderfully, aren't we? But anyways, it took me a while to finish it, but I just wanted it to be as perfect as possible. Also, I had a lot of Christmas parties and New Year parties this week, so that kind of kept me a little bit busy for most of the week. Anywho, I was going to make the sculpture before I made that ring, but because I ran out of time, I made the ring first and then made the sculpture second. But I am so happy, so thrilled with how great this came out. This is the most perfect dragon I feel like I've ever made. Like, I just love it. And if it would just focus on its sheer awesomeness. Not on my face, please. On the dragon. Well, it's not wanting to focus, but you'll see it a lot better in the video. And everything on it just shines and shimmers, and if you catch the light just right on that, it's just beautiful. This just does not do it justice. But, again, this is still, by far, my most favorite dragon that I have ever made. I mean, literally, ever. Look at that cute face, if you could only see it. Who could say no to that cute face? And I don't mean mine, I mean the dragon's. And also, this is the first time I've ever done, like, curled horns, that many going backwards, so I'm pretty proud of myself for that, too. Everything about it I just love. And if you don't notice it in the video, I'm going to point it out now, the pattern on the nose is also a star pattern. I just wanted it to be as Starry Night inspired as possible and have as many stars as I could possibly chunk into one piece, and blue is my favorite color. Obviously, that's why Starry Nights is one of my favorite paintings. Obviously. But anyways, I've talked too much, as always, because it's already at the 2-minute mark. I really hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. I will try to get another tutorial done next week. My regular upload schedule is still supposed to be Friday nights between roughly 11 to 1 Eastern Standard Time. 11 to 1 a.m. Well, p.m/a.m. Nighttime. 11 to 1 at night. Eastern Standard Time, which is the Georgia-New York Standard Time, which is that time zone. Excuse me. Gosh, I'm all over the place. It's been a while since I've talked to y'all guys like this, just, you know, one-on-one. The tutorial my vlog last week, I talked a little bit. Oh, wait, that was this week. Gosh, I'm all over the place. I talked to you guys a little bit, but it was more about sad things and more personal things. But this is a happy video. Things are going good right now. I am so happy, and I am so thrilled with this, and I've been talking for 3 minutes. You're tired of hearing me talk. Let's go ahead and get into this tutorial. Thank you guys so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I will see you guys in my next video. I hope you enjoy this. Let's get into this. Bye-bye, my bunnies. For this tutorial, I used Sparkly Primo Blue, Sculpey 3 Black, and Primo Pearl, I think is what it's called. Something Pearl. Pearl. Yeah, just Pearl. Then I also used these little trinkets, which I got at Hobby Lobby. Jeez, I can't talk. But you'll see more about that later. First, we're going to start with the blue color and pre-roll all the balls that we're going to need. And we're going to start with the largest one in the very center. And you're going to roll that into a teardrop shape, but then on the end where it's round, roll it between your hands to make it pointed on the other end. Once you get this shape, then you're going to press it down at the center so that it's flat on the bottom but still pretty round on the top. After you've done that, just curl the tail upward so that you get this kind of C-like shape. Next, we're going to go ahead and move on to the head of the dragon, which we're going to use this ball right here. You're going to roll this into an egg-like shape. After you get the perfect little egg shape with no cracks, just nice and smooth, take it near the lower part and just roll it back and forth between your thumb and index until you get the nose pointed like this. Then to make the mouth shape, I used the heart shape cutter to cut the 2 little parts in the top of the mouth, the kind of upside down 3. And then I used the half moon shape to cut the bottom rounded part, and then use my X-Acto blade to kind of gut it out. I know that sounds wrong. Then to kind of smooth that out, you can see the gold tool in the background. I just used it to roll and poke and make it smooth. Once I did that, I went on ahead and attached it to the body. You can also use some glue or some wiring for extra strength, or blend it into the body for extra strength. Next, we're going to move on to his feetsies, which are going to be these balls. I cannot talk. You saw that in the intro too, right? Roll it into teardrop shapes, then press down the teardrop shapes so that they'll be pretty flat on the bottom and pretty flat on the top. They should look something like this, and after you get them nice and flat, just cut triangular shapes on both sides to cut out the tootsies. Next, I just went on ahead and stuck them onto the body. After that, we're going to make the thighs for the dragon. I don't know what the technical term would be, but I'm going to call them thighs. So we're going to take these two very small balls right here. Using the center of your hand, press it against your work surface so it'll stay round on the top but be flat on the bottom. Once you get done, they should look like this. Next, take the flat side of them and press them onto the body right above the feet so it should look like this once you're finished. Make sure you really smush them on there to get them nice and tight. Next, we're going to go on to the arms. Well, the front little armies things. Use these two balls up near the top, and you're going to roll these into 2-inch long teardrop shapes. And then we're going to cut about half of them off, but you're going to cut it at an angle, so it should look like this. The other excess pieces just put back in your clay pat to use for later. The two rounded pieces, I'm going to go ahead and stick them onto the body, make sure they're the right length that I want. And then using my index, just like with the feet, you're going to press it down gently so they'll be kind of round on the top but very flat on the bottom. And then just like with the feet, cut out 2 little triangles on both feet to make the tootsies / fingers in this case. Next, we're going to make his wings. So you're going to take these 2 slightly bigger balls here, and they're going to be the bone or structure of the wing. I'm not sure what to call that either. I always cut it into rolling in the teardrop shapes, bend it, and then cut the excess off. Very easy. Pause it if you need to kind of get an idea. Next, we're going to make the interior part of the wings. So we're going to do the little balls rolled in the teardrop shapes, and then you cut those in half. Then the flat parts just stick into the arch of the wings, just like so. After you do that, you can go ahead and make sure the wings will look nice and good. And then you could just set them to the side for now. I also set it on the base that I'm using to make sure it fit proportionally, and it looks really good. But I'm not gluing that down. Don't glue that yet. Next, we're going to take the last 2 blue balls, and this will be his ears, and you're just going to roll them into teeny weeny teardrop shapes. And you're going to press them down gently so they'll still be pretty round on the top but flat on the bottom. And once you get done with that, then you're going to want to cut off the bottom of them, the rounded part, and it should look like this. Then flip them over, and on the flat part, put the rounded part in your palm of your hand, take a dotting tool and indent 2 little circles into the interior parts of the ears. Once you get done with that, you can go ahead and glue it onto the head, or you can wait to glue it later if you want to move it around a little bit. Then I just stuck on 2 little diamond eyes from Hobby Lobby for the eyes, but you can do whatever you want for the eyes. This is just my style. Next, we're going to go on to the Primo Pearl, which I'm going to do the same thing and pre-roll all the balls I'll need. And we're going to start with the largest one, which is typical for my tutorials. Roll it until it's as thin as possible, but not to where it falls apart. And then cut out 2 triangles, try to make them the same size. And then put them in the exterior, the outer parts of the wings. And then get that half moon shape cutter again and cut out the little circles. If you don't have that, find something circular and just cut 2 circles out. Pretty easy. Next, we're going to go back to these little balls, and you're going to do the same thing for all of them. You're going to take them, roll them into teardrop shapes. They should be super tiny. Once you get these shapes, you're going to cut off all the rounded ends, so it should look like this. And then once you get done with that, we're going to take the 2 right in the front, which I'm about to point at right here. And you're going to stick these on the front of the head, so these would be the front horns. Stick them on and then curl them inward. All you have to do is curl that with your finger or a tool or something. That's pretty easy. The other 3 I stuck on his head staggered. So 1 in the middle and then 2 slightly further back, leaving room for the black, dang it, I cannot talk, the black horns we're about to make now, which we only need 3 balls for this, a big one and 2 smalls, and we're going to start with the largest one, and you're going to roll it out flat, and just like you did with the pearl, you're going to cut out 2 triangular pieces and try to make them about the same size. I just usually lay one on top of the other piece of clay and cut it out like a stencil. Once you get 2 perfectly shaped triangles, put them into the interior part of the wings. Get that half moon cutter again, or anything circular, and cut 2 little pieces out of it. Again, try to make them as even as possible. Then we're going to go back to the 2 small balls, and some of these pictures might be blurry, but just bear with me. And we're going to roll these into itsy bitsy teeny weeny little itty bitty horns. I'm probably going to get copyrighted for that. Great. And then just cut off the rounded parts. And then you can go ahead and stick them in between the white horns that we put on earlier. I put 1 in the front and 1 in the back. Again, I just kind of staggered them, but you could do whatever you want there. Next, I'm going to take pearlescent powders or mica powders, whatever you want to call them, in the color Biscotti and Heirloom Gold, which is like a pearl and a gold. I brushed on 2 circles for the cheeks, and then to make it look more like the Starry Night painting, I just did swirls of gold in the pearl color all throughout the body and on the thighs, but do it however you feel like, but if you want to do it just like mine, that should help you out. Next, I stuck 2 little metal wires on the wings and put a little bit of glue and stuck them onto the body. And don't worry, the metal wires will keep the structures up. Next, I took some Loctite liquid glue, some very small pliers, and an eye pin, and I stuck the eye pin with a little bit of glue onto the tail. You can see I got the charm here and the jump ring here, but we're not going to do this till after we bake. So go ahead and take the eyeballs out for now and set everything else to the side. And then you're going to want to bake it for 350 degrees for 9 minutes in a gas oven. 9 minutes in an electric oven, or 12 minutes in a gas oven. Next, we're going to take some gold paint and a paintbrush and paint our base. Again, base is optional, but I just like it. That way you can use it as a cake topper or stick it in your car, whatever you like. Once he's out of the oven, you can glue his eyes in with some of that Loctite glue again. Then we're going to get that charm back that we had earlier, right here, and you're going to use your jump rings to attach it to the tail, like so. I used 2 different pliers just to open up the jump ring and then put it back around the little charm and through the loop of the eye pin. Once you get done, it should look like this. Next, we're going to glue it to the base after that's nice and dry. I use E6000 for this part because it's got a stronger hold. And then after that dries off completely, give it a good 20-30 minutes to dry, I'm going to take that same gold color and I'm going to do polka dots all over the dragon. I did a star-shaped pattern on the face. Everywhere else I kind of did it randomly and did little X's for bigger, more intricate stars. After that's done and dried off, I use polyacrylic floor varnish to glaze it up, and then you're done. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye, my bunnies!